Hey folks, thanks for tuning in once again to Let's Get Cooking. I'm your host, Charles Minnick, so what do you say? Let's get cooking. Now tonight on the menu we have a dish called Chicken Domani. This is a very simple yet elegant dish, easy to make for you folks at home. It's even a featured menu item on one of the national restaurant chains we have in the Mall of New Hampshire. I can't tell you which restaurant it is, but it is an Italian restaurant and it's right next to American Eagle Outfitters. I think, or Eddie Bauer. I don't know, but it's that side of the mall, not near the food court. So, the star of this dish is, of course, chicken. And chicken is going to be supported by an ensemble cast of spinach, garlic butter, or garlic and butter, I should say. It's not garlic butter. Some lemon juice, some chicken stock, feta cheese, Parmesan cheese, some dried basil from my garden, and it's going to be served up with gemelli pasta. For beverage tonight, we have a Pinot Grigio from Tisdale Vineyards. And as always, every week, everything you see here, you can get locally at Sully's Superette. When they say they have the best meats in town, they truly do have the best meats in town. So, first thing, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to get the pasta. And this will actually take the longest to cook. So we've got some water boiling over here. Very simple. We're going to put that in there. We're going to give it a good dose of salt. Now, just so you know, and we're also going to give it a good stir. The salt that we're using can be any kind of salt. It doesn't matter. You're not really flavoring the pasta with the salt. The salt is there to break up the starch bubbles. If you ever notice when you're boiling pasta and it bubbles over, well, that's because the boiling water, the bubbles get coated with starch. The salt breaks those bubbles so they don't boil over and get too big. So it's not going to flavor the pasta. It'll flavor the water. If you can use the water like we're going to use later on, great. Another thing with pasta, make sure you get plenty of water in there. If you don't, it comes out clumpy. Pasta needs to move and groove, just like that. See, this is gemelli. This is gemelli boiling. You don't want it to sit there like this because that's not fun pasta. You want fun party pasta. So we're going to make sure this boils about 10-12 minutes. We'll come back to that. Next thing is going to take a little while. The vegetable. We got some summer squash and zucchini. And, well, I just choose this because it's colorful. And that's pretty much it. So we're just going to cut this up and we're going to get this in water. We're not going to boil this so much as blanch it. You can cut this up any way you like. But that's about that. Now this, I also have water. Just waiting for this. And we'll get that up on high too. Give this a quick little stir. Great. Now, on to our chicken, folks. All right. We have just a boneless, skinless breast of chicken. It's about 1 cutlet right here. What we're going to do is we're just going to cut this 1 cutlet into 4 cutlets. 1 makes for a better presentation on the plate because you can layer it. 2 does not take as long to cook. Now what I would recommend you do at home is wait till the chicken, if it's frozen, is thawed out about halfway. So it's still a tad bit icy on the inside. Because then it just makes it easier to cook. You're actually taking a piece of chicken which is firm because it's frozen, semi-frozen, as opposed to this which is just, flopping all over the place. All right, now we get to use my favorite kitchen utensil, the gallon Ziploc bag. What we're going to do now is dust the chicken parts with flour. I've got some flour in there, and I've also put in a little bit of pepper and a little bit of onion salt. All this is for is so this does not stick to our pan when we cook it in the oil. And I think our oil is popping behind us. Yep, it's popping, folks. We are good to go. So we will just take that. Ooh, I think I'm having a little too high. There we go. All right. That's gonna pan sear up nicely, and that'll just take a minute. While that is working, we're gonna get our lemon ready very simply. We just want to cut it in half, and because we'll be using the spinach over here, just gonna squeeze the juice of one lemon right into there. And I am watching to make sure no seeds get in there. Seeds become very, very bitter. So I've got that lemon juice in there. Done. All right, let's see how our chicken's doing. Perfect. We're going to add another piece. As you can see, the chicken gets smaller as it cooks. Like anything else, it's losing a little bit of moisture as you cook it. Pasta's doing nicely. And that can turn that up a little bit more. All right, we are at a moment of just waiting right now, folks. Nothing else to do but wait. Enjoy a libation, smell the aromas, and you know what? Good time to take a quick little break. We'll be right back. So folks, go do what you have to do, but stay tuned for a word from our sponsors, and we'll finish this up when you get back. All right, see you in a few minutes. We could not do this show without the help of our friends at Sully's Superette. Since 1987, Sully's has provided the area with the best meats around. Here at Cooking with Charles, we not only count on them for their kind donations of meat, but John and the gang at Sully's also provide us with the best produce, deli items, and libations that make Cooking with Charles the huge success it is. From all of us at Cooking with Charles, thank you. I've teamed up with the Goffstown Network to tell you about their outreach and food pantry programs. The mission of the Goffstown Network is to provide for the hunger-related needs of our neighbors in Goffstown and their surrounding communities. Founded with the governing principles that no person should go hungry and every person deserves our care. The Goffstown Network serves the area by providing food and other services on an emergency short-term basis. This spirit of community and mutual caring is extended to anyone in Goffstown, Dunbarton, and New Boston. Normal hours of operation are Wednesday evenings, 6 to 8 p.m., and Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. to noon. Now, you can also assist them through donations of time, food, or money. Like the help they give, the help they receive is also greatly appreciated. You can reach them by calling the number on your screen or by stopping by the Parish House of St. Matthew's Church. It's located in downtown Goffstown at 7 North Mass Street, right across from Sully's. All right, folks, thanks for coming back. Let's go over to our stove here and see how things are progressing. First, let's check the pasta. Now again, the thing about pasta is the salt, the room to move, and everything else. You don't have to stir it all the time. Every now and then, just go over, just look at it, make sure it's doing okay. Now these chicken cutlets that we made, look at these. These are the perfect golden brown that we want. Let's just double check one right here. Give it a slight little slice, and yeah, that is done on the inside. Perfect. So we're going to take these off. Just going to place these on the paper towel. Let that olive oil drain off a little bit. Now, what we have here is all the flavor bottom of the pan. This is where our wine comes in. Remember, if you don't like to drink it, try not to cook with it, with very few exceptions. So, just a little bit of wine. Gonna lift off all that flavor in the bottom of the pan will also make it easier to clean. The fancy term for this is called deglazing. Those are great aromas. Now, we're going to add a little bit of butter, just a couple of tablespoons. We got about 2 in there. I'll let that melt down. We're going to go to a medium-high heat right now. Okay, while that's working, I'm going to add a little bit of roasted garlic. Again, I always buy the pre-chopped stuff, pre-minced, pre-whatever, already in the olive oil. It's just easier. And I'd also like to introduce you folks to a new product, these Noir flavor packets. What this is concentrated stock. You can use it just like this, but it's going to taste like a salt lick. You're supposed to cut it with about 3 cups of water. Now, there's a reason why my production company that produces this show is called Mommy Can't Cook, because Mommy tried to use one of these and just put it in a pan without any water, thinking that's all she needed. Let me tell you, it was not one of her best meals. So, let's get this bad boy open. Wow, you can smell that. Smell that. That is strong chicken flavor. We're only going to use about half of this. For now, we'll see if we need more later. There we go. That's going to dissolve nicely. And now we need a couple of cups of water. I'm just going to use what we have going on right here. Another reason I'm using the water from the pasta pan is because that has starch, which means it'll help my sauce thicken up without having to use a whole lot of flour. Don't want to get any pasta in there. So there we go. We're going to let that reduce down for a little bit. And we're also going to add our spinach. I've got a can of spinach here. For you spinach purists, be my guest, buy those 2-pound bags of spinach and sweat them down. By sweating it down, it means you put it in this pan with a little bit of oil and it gets it wilted like this. Well, it's more expensive that way and it's more time consuming. Honestly, a can of spinach or a block of frozen spinach does the same trick for half the money, same result. All right, so we're gonna let that reduce down. And by reduce down, we mean just pretty much it's going to boil. Now let's just take a little taste here. See how the flavors are coming together. That is nice. We don't need any more of that. Now we're also going to add a couple of tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. That is smelling wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's see how the pasta's doing. Perfect, right where we want it to be. So, we are now going to try and attempt to get this pasta water out. Bear with me, folks. This has never been attempted here at the Goffstown Studios. Voila. This is the first time pasta has been made in this studio. The last time I made pasta, I made it at home and I brought it in because we don't have a sink. So I'm actually using a makeshift colander thing over a can here. And you know, I must say, that worked out pretty good. I have no excuse not for cooking pasta on the show anymore. All right, I'm just going to give that a little dollop of olive oil so it will not stick together as it cools. And what I'm going to do now is just take this chicken, just going to coat it in there for the moment. There we go. Folks, we are almost ready. Just going to get some water out of this. I should have brought a bigger bucket, folks. I'll know better next time. But hey, we got the system down pat. We know what to do. Okay, now, this looks perfect. So we're just going to add our pasta to our sauce. Now, just so you know, I've used about 3 cups of liquid in the sauce. Between the wine and the water. Use about a pound or a can, good sized can of spinach. I used 1 chicken cutlet. Now I'm not going to need all this pasta in here, so I'm thinking if you know this at home, probably about 3/4 of a box. But if you're like me, what do you do with that extra bit of a box? So we now have this pasta gemelli, which we are going to be plating up. So let's just do this. Look at that. This is one good looking dish, folks. Let's get some great color in there. And there we go with our chicken. And just for a little bit of color, that's what the summer squash is for. Look at that. Is that not a dish you are dying to eat? Now, we also have basil dried from my window garden. This is probably picked about 2 days ago. It's really fresh. So we're just going to give that a little sprinkle. Voila. And lastly, going to give it a sprinkle of feta cheese. You can use anything you want. You don't have to use feta cheese. But this is just going to give it that little depth of flavor that is going to put it over the top and make you a winner in that kitchen. What do you think, folks? Huh? Is that beautiful or is that beautiful? So try that at home. Let me know how it comes out. As you know, my email address is mchm411@comcast.net. I would love to hear your thoughts on the shows. I'd love to hear your thoughts on future shows that we can do. If you have a recipe you want to do, if you want to come on and do a recipe with me, by all means. If you want me to show you how to cook a specific dish, because Valentine's Day is coming up, and you can impress that special somebody by making their favorite veal marsala, chicken piccata, whatever it is. So let me know. So until next time. Take care, folks.